Hi, boys and girls. I'm going to continue on with chapter 6 and 7 today. When we left off, the pets were talking again, and they were saying that the mother is going to have a baby. So we'll see what happens. Chapter 6. Mama felt better, and her friend, Marvelous Murphy, came to visit. I don't think Marvelous was her real name. Grandfather said it wasn't, and that she had made it up. Crazy woman. But Mama liked Marvelous. Marvelous was a good friend to Mama. She never spoke bad words about my father, and she made Mama laugh. She had no children, but had 7 exotic chickens, with some strange top knots on their heads. Some even laid colored eggs, green, blue, ivory. Marvelous was a writer of sorts, Grandfather's words, and was wiry with a personality of a nervous whippet, Grandfather's words again. Put some weight on her, said Grandfather, and she might slow down a bit. Marvelous plunged into the house, surprising the dogs. She kissed each dog on the mouth, surprising them even more. Hi, William, you married yet? Here, Eleanor, I brought you these tacky necklaces to wear with your magic costume. No, I said to Marvelous, I'm not married. Marvelous spoke so fast you were always playing catch-up trying to answer her questions. Thank you, said Eleanor. This is my princess costume. But magic, yes? Asked Marvelous. This is magic, said Eleanor, picking up her sparkling wand and waving it. The dogs lined up. Neo, Grace, Bryn, Biddy. Well, that is clever, said Marvelous. No, said Eleanor, it's magic. Eleanor moved closer to Marvelous. Do you believe in magic? She asked. Well, I believe in the magic of my own writing, said Marvelous. Bryn snorted. Eleanor looked at her. Bryn, that's rubbish. Neo, how do you know? Bryn, I lived with a writer once. Writing is not magic, only hard work. My writer said that the ones who thought it was magic never wrote anything good. Biddy, spent their time waiting for the magic instead of writing. Chapter 7. After Marvelous Murphy went home, Gran and Grandfather came for lunch. I dragged Emma away from the blanket that covers Rhode Island, said Grandfather. Gran dropped her knitting bag and went to pet all the dogs. Oh, you excellent dogs, she said. Are you the most beautiful things in the world? They are, agreed Eleanor. I should knit them winter coats, said Gran. What color? She got out her measuring tape and began measuring Grace. Oh, Mama, they don't need slip covers, for heaven's sake, said Mama. Not now they don't, but when bad weather comes, they'll want knitted coats. Grace. I, for one, would love a knitted coat. I'm always cold in winter. Blue, please. Grace said she'd like a winter coat, said Eleanor. Yes, Lammy, said Gran. I heard her. Blue. Eleanor sat down and stared at Gran. Gran's just kidding, Eleanor, I said. It's magic, said Eleanor stubbornly. Gran gave me an amused look. You don't believe in magic, William? She asked. There's no such thing, I said. Aha, said Gran, measuring Biddy from neck to tail. You aren't young enough, not old enough, maybe not brave enough. I stared at Gran. What does that mean? I asked. Magic, said Eleanor fiercely, eyes half shut, furrowed brow, what Mama called her Miss Cranky Pants look. It made Gran and me laugh, and I forget to find out what Gran meant, not brave enough. It was evening. Mama was in the kitchen when the phone rang. Get that, please, she called. Eleanor, who loved the phone, answered. Hello, the house of Eleanor. I smiled. I had taught her to say that. Hello, Papa, said Eleanor in her small voice. She did not look happy or sad. She was very still. You should have called before. You said you would. The dogs looked up. Yes, said Eleanor. Yes. Pause. Where are you? Pause. I have a cat, Papa. Mama appeared in the kitchen doorway, listening. Her face was pale. Her name is Lula. She wears my baby clothes. Pause. Do you want to talk to William? Eleanor looked at me and I shook my head. Eleanor looked up and saw Mama. Papa, I miss you, Papa, said Eleanor. Her voice seemed to have gotten even smaller. Mama wiped her hands on a towel. I'll speak to him, Eleanor, she said, pointing to the kitchen phone. Eleanor hung up the phone. Papa's been sick, that's why he couldn't call, she said. Her eyes filled with tears that spilled down her cheeks. Eleanor never cried. "Elle," I said, "Elle, it's all right." But I knew it wasn't all right. I put my arms around her and she leaned into me. Grace came over and nosed her arm. Eleanor put her arm around Grace, so the three of us were standing there, locked together. "Don't cry," I said. Grace. "She has to cry. You have to cry too, William." Grace looked up at me with a sharp look. We could hear Mama speaking in a voice that was sometimes soft and sometimes louder on the kitchen phone. I patted Eleanor's back. Grace looked at me again with that look, Mama would have called it earnest. Finally she moved away and went to join the other dogs. Eleanor and I stood there for a long time listening to Mama's voice from the kitchen. At the end of Mama's conversation, after she had hung up the phone with a slam, she had provided Eleanor with another bad wood for her bad wood list. The word was idiot, forever number 3 after stupid and fat.